This week on RSBANDB Update, Clickboxgate and other fixes arrive for the Gate of Elidinis, a true Jagex win. Also this week, Group Ironman arrives October 28th, Runic Attuner XP rates are surprisingly decent, and more RuneFest tickets go on sale on October 8th. This is RSBANDB Update, episode 1006, recorded Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. Clickboxgate. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for another episode of RSBANDB Update, Gate of Elidinis Patch Week, to cover some of the hot fixes and cold fixes that were needed for the boss this week. Welcome aboard, Tanis.
Thank you, Shane.
Also joining us this week is Parnassius, everybody's second favorite Australian.
G'day all.
Janice, you should practice the Australian accent from time to time. I think you have permission with Parnassius here.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Well, I mean, g'day.
G'day all.
Yeah.
Hit the frog and toad. Throw another banger on the barbie.
I don't think I can do it very good.
It's funny, we don't say shrimp here. They're called prawns. So it's always funny when you hear an American say, throw another shrimp on the barbie. I've never heard an Aussie call it a shrimp.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's the very quick introduction of these two characters, of course. But this week we'll be talking about the Gate of Elidinis patch notes. We'll be talking about the new RuneFest news. We'll also be talking about my evening out. My evening out with the Runic Attuner, as you can put it that way. And of course,
Shane's hot date.
Yeah, that's what I had this week. You can put it that way. A date with the Runic Attuner. You can put it that way. We also, of course, have news about Group Ironman's launch date of October 28th. So more on all that in, of course, just a bit. But in the meantime, big, huge thank you goes out to our experienced tier Patreon members for allowing us to do what we do here each and every week. Without them, the podcast would be impossible to do. This week, that's Amos Reed, Andrew C., Bladecom, Drama Free, Jason S., Jesse W., Kesky, Lemon Lodge, Mr. T, Ricky A., Rippeth, Runestar, The Naked Captain, Tim, and Truth Ray. Big, huge thank you goes out to all of those wonderful people. You'll be hearing more about our Patreon offerings a little bit later in the show, but in the meantime, full show notes can be found over at update.show. We also have the Discord at update.show/Discord, and the Friends chat can be found in-game at BitsBytes, which I frequent. You can see me in there as Shane12088. Tanis can be found at Tanis79, and Parnassius is just Parnassius, the one without numbers here this week. All right, you guys ready?
The one and only.
You guys ready to dive into some patch notes for the Gate?
Yeah, but I'm proud that there is no, gate. Like, we're not talking about the Gate of Elidinis Clickboxgate. Oh, shit, wait.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
We are.
We're
Clickboxgate.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
See, you're an American, where everything becomes a gate.
That's right.
Named after, of course, the beginning of
Watergate.
the scandal that took down President Richard Nixon, Watergate. The break-in of the Watergate Hotel. Well, let's begin with some Gate of Elidinis patch notes, as I was kind of inferring there. And obviously the hot fixes. They fixed an issue that could cause some players to lose their loot from the Gate of Elidinis when teleporting outside of the boss arena. That sounds like an oopsie. I never heard of that one having many problems associated with it. They also fixed a crash caused by the memory dowser when used alongside a Muspa familiar at a divination colony. That's a bit of a weird one. What does the Muspa do for divination?
Well, you should store it, right?
Yeah, it gives you
it's like the Beast of
spaces.
Burden for.
Yep. Yeah. And also gives you an increased chance of the better memories, the enhanced memories.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so with overlap in the storage there, that kind of makes sense then. stop the Dwarven Ramhammer from functioning with the Gate of Elidinis node to avoid unintended interactions. And of course,
who was using the ram?
Well, I mean, imagine putting it in resource mode, right? You could.
I was going to say,
you could bang through an entire instance in one rock with that, because it's 16 north of the barrier to 2-cycle it, and then you do the other side and you're done. So in theory, then, if you were to do that, that's only 2 rocks that you'd have to go through with this ram hammer, if that's what was happening there.
Huh. I mean,
you'd kill it.
I guess you got it, because I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, what? Why would you do that? I was like, what a waste.
Because we know that the mining XP was token chip mining XP for the mining aspect of the boss.
Yeah. And I'm always thinking XP when I'm thinking hammer.
Yeah.
Hammer.
Fixed an issue that allowed the Prism of Salvation to be placed where the barrier would be added in the Gate of Elidinis encounter. I feel like I've never heard of this item. It's one of the Saren spells. Creates a area of effect that will allow any players to teleport to it. Must be within 8 tiles to use. So what you could do with it is that you could have it on the barrier. And I guess that would teleport you to inside the barrier, which probably would not be good to get
time saver.
Yeah. This was when RuneScape thought they might have a different, like a tank class, and then they said,
yeah, they tried. They tried. I mean, the most
hit it harder.
the biggest thing that I think in terms of tanking for somebody else is the age-old Cade intercept, barricade, and that intercept feature, which I remember David using on. I think it might have been me when I went to Virago with him or something to that effect. Anyways, the Gate of Elidinis was not happy with players utilizing Iclarin's aid to delay its growth. It has realized it can use this time to concentrate, and if not disrupted, it will accelerate its hold on the gate, meaning it will recover corruption if you don't throw rocks at it when you use the button. Congratulations, everybody. The vast majority of day 1 guides out there have been invalidated. Which I mean, I can understand. I can understand that, players might think that wasn't the intended behavior, but it definitely seemed a little bit cheesy when I was looking at doing a 1 cycle that way. So I'm glad this was patched.
You don't like cheese?
No, of course not. I don't like cheese. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In game or in real life. And then fixed an issue where ground attacks in the northern area were not as big as the telegraphing animation suggested. And this was, how they were a 3x3 effectively, right?
Yep.
They were only hitting on the middle square, so you could just move 1 to the left or 1 to the right initially. And I think this one was patched by the time we went live last week on the show. So, all right. You mentioned Clickboxgate tennis. Yeah. And I think they were trying to improve the usability of the boss this week in terms of making it easier to access, but in reality, after the update on Monday, I found the Clickboxes there really, really difficult to use, so much so, and I think everybody probably agreed with me on that, because it came out fairly quickly afterwards that there was going to be a cold fix, as in a server reboot in the middle of the week, to readjust it to make it better and bring it back to how it was. And effectively what that resulted in was readjusting the clickboxes and model placement of the statue nodes in the encounter, removing any gaps in the clickboxes at the center of the mass of the model, removing some rubble that was bleeding into adjacent tiles, which could create false clicks. And they also adjusted the sizes of the models to compensate for the rubble removal. And finally, adjusted the position of models within their tiles to compensate for their rubble removal. And, you know, this honestly was a life-changing fix for the boss this week. I don't know if either of you went back to it after the show.
No.
Not yet, no. I've
Okay.
had a busy week, so.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. And, you know, I'll just say it was remarkably more difficult to kill the boss on Monday.
And you weren't the only person I heard complain about that
okay.
either, so.
Okay,
yeah.
then. So I'm very glad that they did this, and it was a very quick response too, which I think they need credit for. So
I was going to say, I mean, normally this type of thing, they say, well, deal with it until Monday.
Yeah.
But they actually jumped in and did a fix straight away. So good on them.
Right.
The team.
And
that.
the issue with waiting till Monday is that you have that Gate of Elidinis drop enhancer from the event for people who've been killing it a lot. That would be ticking down in that meantime. So I can definitely understand, you know, the need to push and get it done quick. So definitely the right move in that case. So big congrats to Jagex for doing that. Other Gate patch notes: Ironman players can now collect Elidinis boss resources from defeated players when they fall onto the ground. Fixed an issue.
Oh, well,
What?
that'll come in handy.
Yeah, we did that a few times, didn't we?
And we'll probably do it a few more, huh?
Yeah, that's right. With Group Ironman, if we go there, which is behind a lot of quests. But anyways, that's beside the point. Continuing, fixed an issue where the northern mining nodes in the gate were not scaling their XP correctly. Which, now that that's mentioned, maybe I should check the XP on that again. Broadcasts for latent offerings were moved from world to friends. Slow clap.
Yeah, I was going to say, the amount of latent offerings I saw popping up all the time. Are you serious?
And we talked about how
like
useless that thing
drop.
is last week.
Yeah, but it was like a common drop. It was like every 2 or 3 minutes someone was getting one. And that was on the New Zealand world.
Oh, wow. Okay. And they also fixed an interaction between a challenge gem and the corrupted statue nodes. I don't even want to know what this was about.
I didn't think you'd be able to put a challenge gem down there. Fair enough.
And finally fixed an issue with the memory dowser not depositing memories when set to memories and energy. Then in the rest of the patch notes this week, we have a few things for Ode of the Devourer, such as changing the destroy message for the books to be to remind players they can be found in the bookcase again. And this was something I think that you mentioned, Tanis, was that the music tracks that were playing in the Alcard sections of the quest really didn't seem that appropriate.
No.
So that was a bug.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was weird.
Yeah. And then I think the thing that everybody else was probably most annoyed about last week was the prefix messages in chat, which they fixed for friends, clan, and guest chats, where the /, double / and triple slashes were appearing in the messages. So that has been fixed.
Which was actually a fix. That was actually the fix for a problem that was happening on mobile the week before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were fixing a thing on mobile, and they fixed that, and then that's when we were getting the slashes.
Oh, so the fix for mobile broke it on PC then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. And finally...
25-year-old game, people.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen from time to time, and at least it's just chat.
Exactly.
And they also fixed an issue that was clearing chat for nearby players when sending empty messages.
That was being abused greatly on World 84.
Oh, well, maybe that's for the best, given some of the stuff that's
Well,
talked about.
I was going to say, yeah. I actually, because we had a mod down there at the time, I actually thought it was him because some of the stuff that was being talked about was like, oh, seriously? And then, it kept sort of clearing. So I actually thought it was the mod clearing it, but no, apparently it was a bug.
So it was the player self-moderating.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, I was going to say maybe if there's to be one world without chat, aside from the quick chat worlds, it should be 84. But sometimes it is just kind of amusing to look at what they talk about there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes you get some good discussions. As I said, we've had discussions down there with bringing back Yak Track and things and how many people miss it. But, yeah, you can get some very, the 14-year-old tough kids trying to...
Portables?
Yeah, that's the Portables world.
Ooh. Okay.
Do it at 4 for in 3. It's, not the greatest.
I don't read portables.
Could you imagine if we had the text-to-speech that old school had and you were using that?
Yeah, you probably
NSFW.
You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it on Twitch.
No. Well, it's pretty much the patch notes for this week, and I think the biggest thing is probably just the realization that there was a need to fix Clickboxgate earlier in the week, and they acted relatively quickly on that, which isn't something I was expecting. I was expecting to be with that problem for the entire week, but the fact it was fixed within the next 48 hours, I think was a good thing, and is probably going to set the tone going forward for a lot of these sorts of changes that need to be done like that. But
good on them.
All right. Group Ironman coming October 28th. We were wondering when this was going to be.
It is coming to pump us up.
Yeah, you feel like you need that?
Yeah, I gotta get pumped up.
What are we thinking? What are we thinking based on this? Just quick, I don't know, back of the envelope theory craft, how we're feeling, and the hype video we have here. Obviously, we're still waiting for some details, but where are you guys at?
I'm a gatherer, man. That's what I do. I'm gonna gather things. I'm gonna make things. I'm gonna provide things for you killers of the undead and yeah.
One of the things I'm actually most looking forward to after getting the combat gear started up again there is actually being able to engage with the Zamorak boss fight meaningfully, because I've been preserving my 27-minute kill time high score on my main, so I never went back.
Okay.
So that's something I'm looking forward to. But I'm honestly just looking forward to experiencing the RS3 early game again and seeing how it goes. And it's interesting going into this one that based on the group we have so far, I am effectively classed as one of the PVMers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
well, no matter what we think we're gonna do, every one of us is gonna end up at an archaeology site.
Yeah, we love that skill too much for that.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're not keeping me away from Ark.
And I am gonna try and avoid as best I can dungeoneering. And I guess that's a good question.
Ironman.
Like, what do we need dungeoneering for as a group Ironman?
Some of
what do we need from Daemonheim? I mean,
we kind of don't anymore,
your herb cleanser thing.
Yeah, the herb cleanser.
They do have some decent rewards for
the adrenaline ring.
Yeah,
vigor.
There are a couple of decent rewards still down there.
But I'm gonna get my tokens from the elite dungeons. That's the best place to get tokens.
You need the imp, right? Yeah, or bone crusher. There are.
That's what I mean. There are your bone crushers, your imps, your Yeah, there's enough there to the necklace.
Yep. Yep.
You know, I was honestly expecting this to be later November.
That's what I thought it would be.
based on
Yeah,
what they
I'm
were
glad.
saying. So,
I'm
and this
glad
timing actually works out better too, because it's a few weeks before Leagues 5 on Old School. And I think,
Really?
yeah, the issue that we've had before, and we had it, last week with the Gate of Elidinis and on Old School with Varlamore Part 2, is that, you're putting both games up against each other and asking people to choose their time between both RuneScapes when they both have headlining weeks. So,
And I don't think there's ever been a time in the cycle of either game when people so fluidly went between the two. I really feel like there used to be a lot more
and
border.
I mean,
there's a bigger border wall.
Yeah, and like we're expecting Leagues 5 Raging Echoes to start either the last week or second last week in November and run for about 6 weeks until the first week of January, which is shorter than the last one, which was 8 weeks, which I like better. But it's just going to be nice to have a few weeks to get into Group Ironman before needing to start, thinking about what might be happening with leagues. And this actually helps me a bit too. So I do appreciate this. And we were actually talking a bit before the show began here today that it might be interesting to just do like a generalistic Group Ironman Theorycraft kind of episode. With some of our people on it. So let us know, listeners, let us know what you guys would like to see from that in terms of, just more generalistic theory crafting that can help Group Ironman in general, or in particular things that we're looking at doing for ways we want to go for that. Let us know about that, which way you'd like us to go. But as we say, the hype continues to build week after week, and we're less than 4 weeks away, which is just absolutely wonderful. So,
can't wait.
All right. Well, I mentioned that I spent an evening with the Runic Attuner last night.
Mm-hmm. How was he, Shane?
It was good. It was good. Yeah. It was better than I thought it would be.
But you say that to all the attuners.
This is the only one I have.
Oh.
But in any case, just a quick recap on what the Runic Attuner does for people who didn't listen to last week, or for people who just want this to be in their head as we get ready to go here. It's a skilling offhand that comes from the gate, and the thing to take away from this is that this is adding effectively a new rune crafting training method, and whether or not that's a good thing that is added based off of an offhand, that remains to be seen. But effectively what the Runic Attuner does is it grants 300% base rune crafting XP. So if your rune grants 10 XP when you craft it, it will give you 30 XP instead. And then every 5 energy, you get 50% runes increased. Every 10 energy, you get to teleport to the attuned rune crafting altar. Every 25 energy, you're guaranteed 1 to 4 magical thread. And at 50 energy, the experience bonus increases from 300 to 2,500. And then after 50, it rolls back over to 0 and you start the adventure again. And with at least 20 energy, you have a higher chance to attune to higher level runecrafting altars, and then at 40 energy, it increases that chance again. So I sat down last night, and I basically ran through the entire 50 energy levels in just under 2 hours. And now, I just want to say, my XP per hour was about 250k. But there's a big but there right now, okay?
And he does not lie.
I forgot.
That's Kenton.
I forgot to include my familiar.
Ooh.
So add an extra 20% XP on top of that, just, for adding in those extra runes there. So if you do that, that brings me up to about 300k an hour. And then there was another thing that I was unsure what was happening with it. It turns out that the Infinity Ethereal outfit doesn't give you the Master Runecrafting XP bonus if it is stored in Diango's shop. It has to be stored in your bank. So that's another 5% XP I was missing on top of that for this. Which is a bit odd, because I know I threw you for one in here because you did a bunch of runecrafting XP and you thought you were getting the bonus at some point, but it turns out, lo and behold, you weren't, I guess.
Exactly. Well, because you have so many things that give you bonus that you just sort of assume you're getting it all. So my Master Runecrafting robes have been in Diango since we had the little box in the bank to be able to do it. So it's that 5, 6, 7 years. So yeah, if I did that, that run to 200 without that extra 5%, it's I still got there, but it's like, wow, why did I bother getting it?
and see, the wiki says it should work from Diango, right? It should work in the Diango box, but it's not right now. So I don't know if it's not supposed to, and the wiki is wrong, or if it's bugged. I don't necessarily know what the correct interaction on that is supposed to be. But in any case, it may be a bug
that come up with the release of the tuner, but yeah, we'll wait and see what happens.
But in any case, if you get your Master Runecrafting outfit right, and if you get the familiar right, unlike I did, you can expect about 312k runecrafting XP an hour before urns. I did not have urns running for this, and I think the interesting part then comes in where we go to what you had for soul runecrafting XP per hour, which was?
Yeah, I got 320 to 325k when I was doing it. That's with using the Wicked Hood for most runs, and then just going through the Abyss for the actual making of it, with the Demonic Skull, obviously. And that I was using urns and the Urn Enhancer, which gave that extra percentage on those.
Right. So if the RNG goes similar to something that I had, and I was to add urns to this, I would be beyond your 320k XP an hour, definitely.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting.
I am slower, so I have seen people out there claim that it's sort of 345 to 350, but I never got that, so okay. I sort of go on my own thing.
Like I've seen other things, in quick Googles going back to 2019, 450,000 runecrafting XP an hour with souls.
Wow.
But I mean, your numbers aren't saying that, and I find it. I don't think that it would be too far off from what you had there, but nonetheless, I mean, it's competitive with soul runecrafting, I feel. And I think the reason, after spending the evening with the Runic Attuner, I think the reason you do this is if you want more money from the other runes, or you just want runes in general.
Yep.
I think that's the case for the Runic Attuner.
Yep.
But the caveat is that you definitely want to do this with Wicked Hood.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise you're running through the Abyss each and every time. Which
is not so bad.
I mean, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the issue then becomes your teleport to Edgeville is basically the Wilderness Sword, right?
Yep.
And then you got to bank that if you get law runes. That's another kicker that came up, because for the times law runes come up, you can't bring the Wilderness Sword or the Cabbage Port Ring.
Oh, I didn't actually even think of that.
Yeah, so that's one caveat with this one. Another interesting thing is that through this list here, and the spreadsheet will be linked in the show notes at update.show, it gave me Astral Runes. Astral Runes are higher 35 times out of 50. And And if we look at my runs above energy level 40, it only sent me to the water altar once, but everything above 40 with death, astral, soul, blood, and one nature in there. So that's not too bad when you think about it.
Couple of odds, which are nice ones.
Yeah, and then above 20, you got in there a few times for soul runes and whatnot. And I feel like the thing that really kicks the XP into gear for this is how many times you can roll on soul runes here. And then spend the time, of course, charging the altar for that. So, that's kind of interesting. I did get soul runes only 6 times out of 50. Blood was 3 times. Death was 9 times. Nature was 7 times.
Death in there.
Astral was 5 times. Chaos only twice. Cosmic once. Body once. Mind 4 times. Air twice. Water once only. So you can kind of see that it definitely skews towards the mid to higher level, definitely after level 20
and
on that.
What is funny, your once water rune was at number 45.
Right.
Or 46. 45.
Yeah, I was 45. A bit surprised when that one came up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, I like the idea of having a different scenery with this, but at the same time, it's competitive with soul runes. So I don't know that you necessarily need this unless you're looking to get runes. I think that's what it comes down to, is that if you want to do rune crafting and you want to keep the runes out of it, this is probably the use case for it. Otherwise, you can do soul runes, which is going to be a bit more AFK centric.
Yeah.
And again, you forget that you don't really want to even consider using the Runic Attuner unless you have the Wicked Hood, in my view. So, I don't know.
And charges. I mean, you gotta have the charges.
Yeah,
already.
Well, I mean, I got a stack of like 400 waiting to be used.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people have them just from daily keys, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Because the other place they come from is the RuneSpan. You can buy them there, right? Or am I misremembering on that?
I don't remember, but I mean, that's the only way I'm rune crafting anyway, so.
With the Wicked Hood teleports?
No, with RuneSpan.
Oh, okay.
I don't do this run around RuneSpan. Is it really when you think about the way that I play?
I mean, maybe not in that case.
Yeah, you get 1,500 per Wicked Hood teleports, but you can also buy actual altar teleports with your points.
With your RuneSpan points. So I guess that's another way of doing it, now that I think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the thing for this, because who would have used the altar teleports before this offhand then?
True.
Right?
Yeah, because I mean,
again, this goes back. I mean, this is content that's 10, 12 years old. When did RuneSpan come out?
2012.
2012. So yeah, so it's 12 years old. So all these, I mean, back then when you were making your own runes, 2,000 points gave you 10 runes to whatever you like, or 1,500 gives you 1 Wicked Hood teleport.
Oh, so you can buy the Wicked Hood teleports from RuneSpan?
Yes. Yep. You get 1 for 1,500 points, or you'll get 10 to any altar for 2,000 points.
Okay, so it's better to go with the Wicked Hood one then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wicked Hood Whites will give you 3 charges, doesn't it? If I remember correct.
I don't know. I always just click add all, and I thought it was 1-to-1.
Yeah, each token adds 3 teleports.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not too bad then. And see, I think the thing that I walk away from with this still here is that it becomes a question, like we talked about last week. Should a new skill training method be added with an offhand like this, or should the offhands be more supplementary, like we saw with archaeology and hunter, like we saw with woodcutting and smithing with their offhands from Croesus?
I prefer supplementary.
Yeah.
And it was only 120 mil, by the way.
Yeah, I wish I had thought of this when we were talking about it, but like, it reminds me now of, that fishing method, fishing and fletching at the same time. Like, cause
where you can like 2-ticket at Barbarian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are getting great XP, but damn, it's a sweaty way of going about it.
It didn't really feel that sweaty, honestly, with the Wicked Hood.
No. In all honesty,
compared to RuneSpan, RuneSpan is going to be, like you said, a different level of engagement there for that.
But RuneSpan, you're getting 80 to 100k an hour XP. This is 3.5 times that.
And I guess it comes down to what you want at the end of the day for that, right?
That's true.
But
you're not interacting. You don't have to interact with spirits.
No.
Oh.
No. What kind of spirits are we talking about?
I thought there were spirits that you interacted with.
No, that's the scripture of Elidinis that does that.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the book.
Okay.
That's the scripture book that does that. And I mean, if you add that scripture onto this, then you're looking at like 420k XP an hour or more.
Oh, well.
But then
that's a magic number.
But then you're doing, like you said, you're doing that little dance whenever one of the spirits comes up, right? So
yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So, well, this is cool then. Okay, yeah.
Does the Spirit of Attraction potion work with the book on those spirits?
I don't believe it does. I don't believe it does. No.
I might have just given another use for that.
That would be a good use for it because that's like just XP then, converting Dragonstone to XP, which you can say is a better value than
much
using
better.
it for the Saren spirits or the brooch spirits. So
exactly.
I don't know, and I think what I want to do at the end of the day here with this is to basically tell people here that if you really don't want to mess with the Abyss, though that doesn't matter anymore because of the Wilderness, or you don't want to use the Demonic Skull every 4th run or something to that effect, this is a competitive alternative to it. And I think that's where we walk away from with this here, is that it's just good to have different training methods, right? Because we know we're going to 110 rune crafting next year, right?
Yeah, with the caveat that you have or can get the charges.
The Wicked Hood teleport charges, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the only caveat, it's like when you talk about how good, this is out of
Well, you
date
need
now,
the Wicked Hood teleport for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, if you were running the Abyss, okay.
The Abyss isn't even that bad anymore with the Wilderness being gone and the Relic power that brings you right to the center.
Yeah, I was going to say with the Relic power and you can just right-click the wizard. You can set that up to right-click wizard. You might lose 30k an hour by running Abyss rather than Wicked Hoods.
Yeah, Abyss. Yeah, that's not. I haven't done it in so long, so yeah, you guys are right.
The Demonic Skull, does that work with the Enhancer?
No, it does not. It does not work.
No, I didn't think it did.
The Abyss bonuses and the Demonic Skull do not stack with the Runic Attuner.
I thought that was the case.
So, it's one or the other, really.
Yeah. Although, again, if you don't want... Because some people are still scared to use the demonic skull because you can get PK'd, although it's very, very rare. If you want to run the Abyss and not take that risk with the demonic skull, well, the tuner's the perfect thing for it.
Yeah, and I think that's the story at the end of the day where we end with this, is that it's about adding another training method to the game. Which, again, you might not like. So, I don't know.
Gives variety. I mean, we can't complain when there's variety.
Yeah, that's probably a good way of putting it. So, all right, I'm gonna thank some Patreon supporters right now because we're approaching the end of our planned content here. But as a result of that, this week, first podcast of the month, I'd like to thank Alaska, Alvaro L, Amos Reed, Anatoly D, Andrew C, Arvids L, Bladecom, Chilbura, Cosmic Brownie, Dominic R, Drama Free, Duramax, Greg T, Guy Lafleur, Jade Gizmo, Jason S, Jesse W, GMM, Keski, Lemon Lodge, Luminos, Meriwether, Mongraph, Parnassius, Ricky A, Rippeth, Robbie D, Runestar, Samuel FL, Scott DS, Shirtpants, Tabby, Targayen, Tevis, The Naked Captain, The Dabbing Goat, Tim, Truth Ray, Ukulele Steve, Woody, and Zand. Big, huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters for allowing us to do what we do here at RSBANDB Update. It really does mean the world to us, and if you want to learn more about our offerings, head on over to patreon.com/RSBANDB. There we have 3 tiers of support available, starting for as little as $1 a month, and that $1 a month tier includes upwards now of 70-plus monthly bits, or bonus shows, as we call them. These are little episodes that we put out each and every month about one particular topic or another. This month's is going to be about RuneScape 3 engagement and looking at all the ways that Jagex attempts to bring players back in, find new players, and encourage existing players to play the game, and look at those, see which work, which is healthy, and have a bit of a discussion about where Jagex has gone in the past on that. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can sign up and get access to that when it goes live, probably later next week, at patreon.com for as little as $1 a month. We also have a VIP tier where you can get a VIP rank on Discord, a special chat channel, and a mention on the podcast at the start of the month, plus high-quality stereo version of the show each and every week. And to get that, you pay $3 a month. And for $5 a month, if you want to give a bit more, you'll receive a shout-out on the podcast each and every week and gain exclusive access to the outtakes that we use to make the clip show at the end of the year. And this also includes the RSBANDB Update Christmas card every December. And I did also mention at the top of the show our experienced tier members that tiers presently sold out, but big, huge thank you again to them. So patreon.com/RSBANDB. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks.
Alrighty, well, we got the date. There's going to be 1,000 additional tickets for RuneFest announced on October 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the ones that they expanded out and people thought were scalped initially, but it turned out that, less than 1% of them were scalped initially. Mod Mark went on a witch hunt for that turned out to be just that, a witch hunt. Very few scalps on that, but if you are interested in trying to snag one of these, head on over to their website. They will be available from 4 p.m. BST British Summertime on Tuesday, October 8th. And all I have to say on this is best of luck to people who want them. I know they sold out very quickly the first time.
It's going to be like trying to get Taylor Swift tickets.
Well, that's what it was like the first time.
In the UK. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they were sold out in minutes last time.
Is she still that popular?
Oh, dude. Always. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Why? Did you try and get tickets to tennis for that?
No.
Okay, just checking.
I don't believe in paying that much for anybody. Like, No, I draw the line.
I see her enough on the Kansas City games, thanks.
Yeah, but I mean, well, you don't have a 12-year-old daughter, and
That's true, yeah.
that's the
Yeah, my kids are well beyond that.
They can get their own tickets if they want to.
Yeah, no, they like decent music. Well, my daughter does anyway. I've got her into the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
My son, actually, my son, he listens to everything. He loves his music.
Well, I mean, now that we're on music instead of RuneFest, I think that's really all there is to say about this. So,
yeah, good luck if you're going.
Yeah, October 8th, 4 p.m. BST if you're attempting to get RuneScape's equivalent of Taylor Swift tickets. Which is honestly what it sounded like was happening last time. So,
yeah. These are the real whales. You can get RuneScape or RuneFest tickets.
yeah, and I mean, hey, sometimes it just comes down to luck of the draw. We'll have to wait and see, because I know that it was so quick last time that the usual Clan Quest people who actually live in the UK were not actually able to snag the ticket in terms of how they did, because, you know, previously, for all past RuneFest back to 2019, there are always tickets up until even, you know, the day of that you could just get. But obviously, It's been proven that this is pent-up demand for, you know, skipping out on the last 6 years, or 5 years, rather. So,
I think what would be a goodwill gesture from RuneScape themselves is to give RSBANB a double pass to give away on it. So.
Now. Let's not put the cart before the horse here.
Hey, I'm allowed to say it.
Well, I don't know, Shane. I mean, would you just be my companion? Because I did see something about companion tickets. So, like, I do need...
It says... to players who require a companion ticket, in order to save time when purchasing, please ensure you have the required information ready when you check out. And in the FAQ, let's just actually look at this right now here, since we're talking about companions. Oh boy, their FAQ website's just real fun to manage here.
Dennis and I, we can go as blind and blinder.
They do not provide concessions. However, we can provide a free carer ticket for those who receive disability living allowance or personal independence payment. When you buy a ticket, you'll be able to select a free companion ticket. When you check out, you'll be able to supply evidence to it.
Huh.
So companion tickets are free.
Yeah.
But you got to prove that you need it.
You got to prove that you need it, which, I mean, for you Tannis,
which is good.
For you Tannis, that would be no issue whatsoever, I assume.
I would think so.
But I wonder if you would qualify for that, Pernasius, with your back. Though you don't need a carer, do you?
No. Just as long as I can take my cane when I walk too far, I just sometimes need a cane, or my grandpa walker, as my kids call it, sometimes. But yeah, that's only on really bad days.
I just need a CNI Shane.
No, I am not doing that.
Hey, I could pretend to be a dog for a free ticket.
I honestly think you'd have more issues with the UK itself than the venue, Tannis. But
yeah, I'm sure, probably.
Yeah. All right. What have we been up to on RS? Let's start with you, Pernasius.
Not a lot. I've been doing a lot of AFKing, but I'm sort of starting to work again on the collection logs, and this week did complete my Tormented Demons logs. Got those, the lumps and the shards and the slices. I got 17 dragon limbs, 11 dragon claws.
Oh my god.
Four the ruined armor shards and 2 of the armor slices before I finally got the lump. So but they're done now, so...
Yeah,
but
and you can
heavily
pretty much just
AFK with
let necromancy go at them and they go down, right?
Yeah. I put 2 in my dungeon and basically just... I mean, I was doing housework and just going back every 10 minutes to click. Did not need, you know, especially with your... what's it called for your potions? That sort of... You load it up with 6 doses and it drinks automatically. It was
the
just
bless
so
flask,
easy to do.
right?
No. Just the potion. Let me. What's it called? Sorry. Let me just head back to the bank.
It's like the potion sippy thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but that's how I remember its features.
The potion reservoir.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So you load that up with your Elder Overloads, and yeah, basically you go back every 10 minutes so you don't log out, and that's it. And yeah, finally got it. Most of my dragon limbs were just AFK, and I'd come back. Oh, there's a set sitting there, and you sort of scroll back through chat, and people are saying congrats, and you haven't acknowledged them because you just weren't in front of the computer.
I mean, in 2007, once it drops back, so. There you go.
But at least we have decent drops off our TDs.
Well, it's funny you say that. You know why?
Because you got bad ones in your ones.
No. It's because they were panned initially, and they needed to adjust some of the commons for them. But if you can do Tormented Demons on Old School, they're about 7 million GP an hour. And,
oh, wow.
Right. And by flipping that on its head, Tombs of Amosket, one of the raids, at about level 500 is 11.6. The Fortis Coliseum, which is very difficult, is wave 12. That came out with Varlamore Batch 1. And Nex Duo is 14.4 million an hour. So it's basically half of duoing Nex if you could do Tormented Demons. So they're not bad.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's 7 mil over there is like,
it's about 10 to 1, honestly. The GP conversion. So it's about
it's like 70 mil.
Yeah, 70 mil RS3.
Okay.
So it's very good. And by comparison, Kriara is 6.5. Just for a boss that we all know.
Very nice.
So, Tanis, you have anything for what have we been up to? What have we been doing?
No, I'm kind of taking it easy, getting hyped for Group Ironman.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. My experience up to this point so far, since we last chatted here, was that I've basically been spending my time at the skilling boss. And when I intended to play Old School one day, they had a critical bug that necessitated about 7 hours of downtime and a rollback this week. So instead of doing Old School when I was going to, instead of doing Old School, I did RS3 and I just resumed using my Porter buff and I started mining my ores for 110 smithing. I think it's about 450 of each ore that I'll need with double XP and bonus XP to get to 110. So I did that.
Very nice.
But what the bug was is they added with the Mastering Mixology game that came out last week on Old School with Varlamore Part 2, they added what's called potion storage. So you can basically have a section of your bank now, and this is simplifying it, but you can have a section of your bank that effectively stores all your potions in doses, right? So imagine having like big kegs of overload or, super ranging potion or what have you, right? And then you can say that you just want 4 doses and it will give you a vial with 4 doses in it, and then off you go, and you don't need to, store potions in your bank. But what happened on Monday, I think it was, or maybe it was Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, it was found that there was a critical bug where this potion storage unit was duplicating potions.
Oh, no.
So the game was shut down for about 7 hours. They gave some people 2-week vacations and then rolled everybody back by about a half hour to prevent the excessive potions flowing into the game as a result of that. So that's what I did by mining on RS3.
I do like that they they give they roll it back so the ones who were abusing it and then give them a temporary ban. I don't know that lifetime bans should
No,
be a
for
thing.
something like that, no,
But,
I don't think so.
Yeah, but temporary bans. Hey, you did something wrong. You're going to lose a couple of weeks, but then you can come back and resume. I like that.
Yeah, but on that, we'll be talking about the Varlamar quest this week on OSRS Update, so do give that a listen if that sounds interesting to you. But that's pretty much been the week, I think. So not too much to write home about there, just lots of time at the Gate of Elidinis. All right, let's run through some achievements. So starting off, we have Highcliff with 120 ranged on October 2nd. October 2nd, you know what that means. We have Arendelle 20 with 120 cooking on September 30th.
Moving on, we have Bellicostity with 99 Archaeology and 99 Necromancy, both on September 28th. And also September 28th, Highcliff again, and he hit 120 Magic.
Nicely done.
Yeah, and then we have Edict with 99 Slayer on the 27th, and Perro Picante with 99 Firemaking, 26th.
Congratulations all.
Nicely done, everyone. All right, Tanis, you have a pick that takes us back to the 80s.
I have a pick, yeah. We're going old school. But for everyone out there that like the retro games and can remember back in the day, the classic Nintendo system, the NES, the toaster, one of the staples of that era was a game called Contra. Everyone remembers the code. You still remember it, up, up, down, down, left, right. Come on.
The classic Konami code, right?
That's right. Yeah, and so there is a new Contra game called Contra Operation Galaga, and it has a connection to the old Atari Galaga, because if you know Contra, it's like defending against aliens stuff. So what is so cool is it really captures the spirit of that game. There are some modern conveniences. You can set it to the classic one hit, one kill. But if you want something a little bit more forgiving, you can turn health meters on. But I have just been really shocked at how fun and just the way that it looks so clean and nice, but captures that spirit. So been playing a lot of that this week.
Okay.
It's back to my era of gaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
PC.
Although better
Steam
graphics.
Deck.
Better graphics.
Yes. PC, and yeah, I've been playing
because it says Steam Deck compatibility verified.
Yep. I play have it installed on the deck.
I still don't see the purpose of that Steam Deck, and the podcast people roasted us for that when Sirion and I discussed it way back when.
Well, I don't know, man. You don't get it.
No, I guess
it's like the adult.
Not.
It's the adult portable, man. Like this is for this is for like gamers. I mean, the Switch is nice,
right? Because you'd never see these on a Switch, and I guess it's for things like this that you would like to play handheld somewhere, but you can't on a Switch. That the Steam Deck makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing Tekken 8. I mean, I
feel like that form factor definitely makes sense for that.
Yeah.
I saw Factorio in the example. And they also mentioned Stardew Valley, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm sorry, this is turning into about the Steam Deck. I just got sidetracked with that. But, okay. Anyways, back to the pick of the week. It looks like it's presently 40% off on Steam, so I guess it's a good time to have it here as pick of the week for it. And you know, you go back. I said I don't know what I'm talking about, me in here, but you go back ages on this, because I remember we used to have the occasional retro gaming article you'd do on Informer. That's how you started, right? Was that the
That's
first?
Right, yeah,
that was the first. That was gaming, and then you moved to RS after that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, sounds good. You can find the link to that in the show notes over at update.show. But that pretty much brings us to the end of the podcast this week. Thank you to everybody for listening here. It's a bit of a shorter one this week. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to discuss or ruminate on before we go? Going once, going twice.
No, just looking forward to it. Yeah, join us when we do hit the Ironman, because there'll be a lot of stuff going on then.
Yeah, I don't, and see, that's the thing. I'm not entirely sure what to expect from myself on this. I think we kind of have to sit down and figure out where we want to go with this. So, but if you want to come along for the full journey, best way to do that is to subscribe. We're on all the podcast listeners out there: Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Amazon, and of course YouTube at youtube.com/RSBANDB. Just visit update.show/subscribe and click on your favorite podcast listening service, and you'll be able to connect up with the show. But until then, we'll see you guys next week for another episode of RSBANDB Update. See you then, everyone. Take care.
Happy scraping all.